Welcome everyone to the webinar of IRONMAN Barcelona. Today we have here Ferran, which will be explaining all the tips and tricks about the race. This is Pretty, and from IRONMAN headquarters in Frankfurt, and I will be moderating this webinar. If you have any questions, please write them in the question box that you find on your right side, and we will answer the questions just after the presentation is finished. So, Ferran, the public is yours.
Good afternoon. Welcome to everyone, and welcome to the IRONMAN Barcelona webinar. We will start introducing a few tips for the event and letting you know the best tips and recommendations for you to face the race week and to take part in the event and to complete your Ironman race. As you know, the date has been moved from Sunday to Saturday. This is due to a referendum that will be going on the region on Sunday, and to avoid collision with the two events, we choose to move the event to Saturday. So it will be for the first time after 4 editions. The IRONMAN Barcelona will take part on Saturday. The average weather for that week in September is really favorable for triathlon, and we are expecting air temperatures over the 20 degrees Celsius, and also the water temperature is going to be around 20 degrees Celsius. It's been always a wetsuit legal race, and we're also expecting this year to be a wetsuit legal race. So this will obviously bring us a more safe and comfortable swim. Even if it's an open water swim, we'll be always to wear a wetsuit and make your swim smooth and easier. The principal tips for race week that we like to suggest to every athlete is to get to the village as quick as possible, or as soon as possible on race week. Check in the race registration site early and try to avoid last-minute stress and last-minute queuing. You can go as many times as you want to the registration site to walk through the expo and the merch store. But the sooner you get your race pack and all your stuff for the race, the better. Use this time also to get familiar with the different event venues. We have the main race venue in Calella Beach, and it's on the west end of the beach. There is where you will find the registration area, the merchandise store, the briefings hall, and the welcome banquet, as well as the finish line. 1.3 kilometers east, following the beachfront, you will find the transition area, which is built on the city football pitch. And there is where you will have to check in, ride your bikes on Friday, and also where the swim venue is located. As part of our recommendations for race week, we also suggest everyone to check in early on Friday. To check in early on registration. Registration will be open from Wednesday at 4 p.m. and it will still be open on Thursday and Friday, but last-minute queues are always stressful, so let's try to avoid that and get that done and out of the way as soon as possible. To get familiar with the event venues, go for a practice swim in the sea and get used to it. Some of you guys are used to swim and train swim sessions in the pool, and the conditions in the sea are quite different. Water is salty, there is wave and swell, and it's always good to go for a couple of swim practices to get more used to it. Also, to avoid last-minute bike checking queues, it's important to check all the schedules. We recommend a check-in time for everyone, and it's good to avoid the last-minute rush. And Make sure you also know when are the race briefing sessions, so you can attend and solve any last-minute questions that you might keep for yourself. Finally, as a general recommendation for race week, we would like to say to you guys to stay hydrated and well rested, and enjoy training on both the run and the bike courses, which will be accessible all day. If you do go on the bike course, though, remember to pay attention to all the other vehicles on the road, and please be respectful with the signs and the road altitude. This is the global event schedule, so make sure you are familiar with it and and try to attend the race briefing, where you can also get answers to any further questions you may have. The welcome banquet will be on Thursday, and yeah, it's 2 days before the race, and all the athletes are invited. Also, if you want extra tickets for family or friends, those will be available on site. And menu will include pasta, rice, soft drinks, fruit, and dessert. Once you register, the next step will be to go and complete the bike check-in. That is on the transition area. And one of the best options for parking is to use the beach car park, which is close to both venues, but especially close to the transition area. The bike check-in will start on Friday 29th at 2 p.m. and will be open until 7 p.m. And it's important for your logistics to know that only registered athletes will have access to the area, so no family or friends will be allowed in. To check in, you must bring your bicycle, wear your helmet and bib number, as well as your run and bike gear bags with your race number stickers on, and with all your race day kit inside. Use the check-in time to spend some time visualizing the flow of the transition and get a good idea of the flow you'll have to follow after swimming, cycling, and on the way to the bike, and from the bike to the transition tent, to get a better orientation and save some time on race day. These are all the bike set that you will have available on race week. The most common bags are the bike bag and the run bag. This is where you put all your bike gear and run gear, and you will have to drop these two in transition during the check-in. Also for race day, you can bring a streetwear bag where you can drop fresh clothes to have available at the finish line. The streetwear bag must be dropped in transition on race morning. The bike bag and the run bag will have to be dropped in transition during the check-in on Friday. We also have two more bags available, and those are the bike special needs bag and the run special needs bag. These two bags can be filled with any kind of nutrition that we want on the course, and we will drop them in transition on race morning. So on Saturday, not on Friday, on Saturday in transition. There will be two areas, especially dedicated for special needs collection, and those bags will be transported to one of the 8 stations on the run and one of the 8 stations on the bike. Those 8 stations are the 3rd aid station on the bike and the 5th aid station on the run. You can check the codes and see more information regarding the specific aid station where those special needs bags will be deployed. And it's important for you to know that all your bags must be labeled with your race number to avoid confusion and to make sure you can receive all your kit on race day. Finally, and regarding the special needs bags, any uncollected bag will be tossed away and won't be transported back to transition for recovery after the race. Finally, let's see the courses. We will proceed with an overview of the 3 courses that we have on the IRONMAN Barcelona. And we'll start with the swim. It's a 3.8 kilometers swim just in front of the beachfront, starting from the front side of the transition and going in a single loop, first west and then way back east to the beach and up to transition. The distance between the swim exit and transition is under 200 meters, and it will be an easy run across the beach and a carpeted path. Once the 3.8 kilometers loop is completed, you'll grab your bikes and go through the town of Calella to reach the road direction to Barcelona and complete the first loop from Calella to Montgat. This loop will be completed 2 times, so Calella-Montgat, Montgat-Calella, Calella-Montgat, and Montgat-Calella again, before starting a final 3rd loop between Calella and San Andreu de Llavaneres, that is more or less halfway south. Once we turn in San Andreu, on the short left turn, we'll go back to Calella and we'll go through the town again, back to transition. And then it will be time to start the run. The run has an initial section between the transition area and the finish line. And once we complete this first part, we will have to complete 3 loops around the course between Calella and Santa Susana. It's all along the promenade in front of the beach, and there is a section that goes on the road between the railways and the city. After 3 loops, we will complete the 42.12 kilometers of the marathon, and that will be time to go through the finish line and go to the recovery area, where we'll find beverages, food, and your streetwear bags to get changed if you want to. Finally, the day after the race, we'll have the awards and slot and allocation ceremony. It will take place at the finish line venue, and it will be on Sunday at 12 p.m. Also, at 10 p.m., we'll have the Iron Kids, and the Iron Girl will take place at 11 p.m. also on Sunday. So we encourage you to get there with your families and to enjoy the last day of this Ironman. And finally, it's time for questions and answers. So feel free to ask anything.
Hi, Ferran. Thank you for that. Yes, we do have quite a few questions here. The first one is from Nadia, and she is asking how wavy can we expect the water to be, and what are the currents like?
Sorry, can you repeat that question, please?
How wavy is the water, and what are the currents like? Yeah,
normally the water is not super wavy. It can be a bit choppy, but with not a big swell. Still, we've seen days in September with strong winds and currents, so it's not something that we can predict 100%. But we would normally expect current coming from south to north and moderate waves. Not a lot, but maybe it might be a bit choppy. It might also be completely flat, but as you know, guys, the weather forecast is not something that we can predict as looking into the future. So we expect good conditions, but yeah, we can't tell anything until race week.
And always regarding the current, how strong and fast is it usually?
Usually there's not a lot of current, but if the wind is strong, the current can be strong too. So we might have current of know, half a mile per hour, something like that. And again, it's something that really depends on the weather conditions of the week and race day, and we can't have more information until the last few days before the event.
And then another question asking about the bike and run courses. What is the elevation gain for each of the bike and run courses?
For the bike, you get an average of a very flat course, but in total you get around 700-meter positive climb for the bike. For the run course, the elevation gain is nearly zero. It's super flat and it's very fast.
Okay, the next question is from James. I think we already answered this regarding the sea, so I'll go forward to Mike. What difference will it make racing on Saturday as opposed to Sunday?
Well, as said, the choice was made to avoid colliding with a national event, which is a referendum votation that will be happening on Sunday. And as you guys know, our bike course is closing a huge road, and that involves a lot of traffic management, and we don't want that to happen on Sunday. The difference for all the athletes, I think that in terms of the racing experience, there won't be much difference. We might have more people on the course cheering up, and maybe that's even better for all the athletes, because maybe more people is becoming a spectator of the event.
Thank you. The next question is, will there be any shower facilities at T1 transition to wash off salt water from the swim?
Yeah, as soon as you get out of the water, you will go through a non-salty shower, so you can get rid of all the salty water just right before you get into transition to get changed.
Yes, next question is from Jane. How far is the swim exit to T1?
Yeah, from the swim exit until you get into T1, you have a run of less than 200 meters, so it's around 150 meters.
Thank you. We have next questions from Oded. What are the wind conditions in cycling?
Again, the weather forecast is not something that we can predict with such an anticipation, but as an average, I would say that we can have winds around 10 miles an hour around the bike course, and those will be normally south winds. So it will be headwind as we cycle south on the road, and it will be tail and side wind as we climb up north. But again, it's something that can change, and that we won't be able to tell until race week. So that's another reason to be aware of all the posts on Facebook and the information we are delivering during race week, including the race briefing that will provide all this information.
Thank you. There's a next question from Claire. Will you need to have registered before attending the briefing, as registration opens on Friday at 10 a.m. and English briefing starts at 10 a.m.?
Yeah, so registration will be open since Wednesday, and as said, we really suggest to be registered as soon as possible. If you don't get to the venue until Friday, and you cannot attend registration before then, I think it's totally recommended. I think it's much a better option to attend first the briefing and then go to the registration for collecting all your race kit.
Next question is from Odette. Yes, the presentation will be sent to you via a link, and you can review it in the future. And from Tom, we have what food will be available at the aid stations and where, and water bottles given out on bike course. Tom, you can find all this information in the athlete guide. It will be written very clearly, and everything that will be at the aid station. All this from the website. From Mike, we have, are there jellyfish in the swimming pool, Ferran?
Well, the swim happens in the Mediterranean Sea, so yes, there are jellyfish, and what we can tell is that we haven't had any big jellyfish experience so far in the last 4 years. During the summer, we have some groups of jellyfish that go across the area, but we always take a lot of care controlling those big groups, and we always check the area before the race starts, just to make sure that there is no risk for the athletes to get stung.
Thank you. I think Nadia is not clear on the current, water current. The question is, the water current direction can be south to north. Does that translate into being in our favor as we swim back to the finish line?
Correct. So what we've seen in some editions is that we have south current, and that makes the first leg of the swim a bit more slow for some of the athletes. But as you turn and you go back to the end of the course, it pushes everyone, and it helps you doing the last leg and the second half of the swim.
Okay, we have a few more questions. Will there be bike assistance on course, and if so, is it for free?
There will be bike assistance on Friday during the check-in in transition, and there will also be bike assistance on Saturday during the race in transition and on the course. You can check the athlete's guide to check where the bike assistance will be located on the course, and minor help or minor spares or changes won't be charged. But if there is a big issue on the bike or a big repair, that might be charged to the athlete. So it's something you will be able to check with on-site in situ.
Thank you. Another question regarding the swim. What can I do if I need assistance during the swim? And what can I do if I just want to rest but not be disqualified?
Yeah, so if you feel tired or exhausted during the swim, or you don't feel well, we suggest you to lay on your back and raise your hand. One of our swim course members will accompany you, either a boat or a paddler. You can hold to the boat or you can hold to the paddler and rest as much as you need. And as long as you don't go forward on the course with external help, you can always continue. So there's no reason not to stop and get a breath or get a bit rest if you want to. And if you really don't feel well and you don't feel like continuing, you can always ask for a pull out, and you will be brought to the end of the course, to the finish line or to the safety area.
Next question is, at the aid stations, can we leave personal food such as isotonic beverages and gels? Yeah,
you have two options for special needs, where you can drop your personal nutrition or drinks, and that's a service that will be available through the special needs bags. You can collect those at registration, and you can drop those in transition on race morning.
Yes, but you can't put any other item on the other aid stations. There will be a specific table, one for the the bike course and one for the run course with the special needs bags. And you cannot get any help from like for example, family and friends giving you stuff on the course. So if you want to prepare your own food, put it in the bag, but be aware that you have only one chance to get this bag. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, that's correct. You should put everything in the special needs bag and collect it at the special needs aid station.
Another question on the swim. How many people approximately are expected to start together in each swim wave? Is it a rolling start?
Yeah, so the Ironman Barcelona doesn't have a wave start. What we have is a rolling start system, and that means that all the athletes are self-seeding themselves according to their expected swimming times, and they will start in a rolling start. So the fastest athletes will be in the front, and then they will get into the water. Athletes will be going into the water on a pace that will be about six athletes every 6 seconds. That will provide a very smooth start, and that will also provide a great experience in the swim course. So every athlete will be swimming surrounded by athletes swimming at their same speed.
Regarding the special needs bag and special needs table, on the bike course and on the swim course, how many times do the athletes pass the table, and how many chances do they have to pick it up?
So if we go back to the special needs section back, on the bike, you will hit that aid station 3 times, because it's on the way back to Calella. It's on the 3rd bike aid station, and you will hit it on the, you will hit it on the 75, on the 145, and on the 175 kilometers of the course. And then on the run course, you will have it on the 5th aid station, and you will hit it on the 8.3 kilometers, 21.8, and 35.3 kilometers of the run course. And that's the play, yeah.
One more question is regarding the timing chip. What do I do if I lose my timing chip before the race or during the race?
So if you lose your timing chip before the race, you can communicate that as soon as you get into transition on race morning, and you will be given a spare timing chip. If you lose the chip during the race, it's important that you communicate that as soon as you go through transition, if it's been on the swim or on the bike course. So someone from our staff can deliver you an extra spare chip and keep you track along the course. Remember that if you cross the finish line without a timing chip on you, you will be disqualified.
One more question regarding the iPhone, iPod, and phones in general. What devices are allowed and what devices are not allowed?
The main rule regarding the electronic devices is that no devices providing you a connection with providing you a data connection will be allowed, or at least won't be allowed to be used. So you can carry your phone as long as you don't use it during the race. If you are seen using your phone during the race, you will be disqualified. Again, any kind of recording device or video cameras are not allowed, and any kind of device used to listen to music or listen to a pace keeper is not allowed. Anything with headphones won't be allowed either.
And one more question regarding the transition special needs bags. Are there any restrictions on what we can put in the transition bags? For example, sunscreen, towels, etc.
There is no restriction in terms of the gear that you can put on your transition bags. We always suggest not to place any high value item, especially on the streetwear bags or on the special needs bags, because I said if you don't collect the special needs bags, those bags will be tossed away. And regarding the streetwear bags, those will be transported, and those are mainly for bringing fresh clothes to you at the finish line. So try to avoid dropping there any wallets, any phones or things that can get damaged if the bag is dropped. And regarding the bags in transition, yes, you can put inside any sun cream, any towels that you might use during the race.
One more question is, what is being done to minimize drafting? How do we get notified of drafting, and what can we do to prevent it?
The rules for drafting are explained in detail in the athlete's guide. You must stay at least 12 meters behind the bike riding in front of you, and you have 25 seconds to overtake and pass this bike. If you're not going to overtake, you'll have to fall behind and stay keeping this 12 meters gap. There will be several referees around the course, and they will show penalties to any athlete who's not following the rules. And those penalties will be also explained at the race briefing. If you are shown a yellow card, you will have to stop at a penalty tent for 1 minute. If you are shown a blue card, you will have to stop at a penalty tent for 5 minutes. And if you're shown any combinations of 3 cards, blue or yellow, you will be disqualified.
Thank you, Ferran. I think for today that was all. Thank you to everyone for joining us. And Ferran, if you have your last tips for our first-timer athletes for Ironman Barcelona, this is the time to say what you think they need to do.
Yeah.
and your goodbyes.
Thanks you all for attending the race webinar, and wish you all a great summer. Hope you can prepare the race, and hope you all can join us in September for a great Ironman experience. See you in Barcelona, and enjoy your way to become an Ironman.
And the tip was just take it calm, enjoy, and relax. And just from my side, the best tip would be just when you arrive to the finish line, take your time, go slowly, because it's an amazing moment that you will never forget. All right. Hope you enjoyed the webinar, and see you all in Barcelona. Good luck.